Hey friends, hope you're doing fine. Today I'd like to show you a trick what you can use to visualize your data frame in Python with only 2 lines of code. Because let's face it, if you are a data analyst or data scientist, then most of the time when you have new data, what you want is you want to analyze the data, right? So you want to check for missing values, for instance. You want to know what is the correlation between those variables and so on. And for that, in Python, you have libraries like Seaborn and Matplotlib and so on, which you can use in order to create charts. But this takes time. So is there a smart way to do this? And yes, there is. And one of those tools is the so-called Pandas profiling report. Now, in order to use it, let me first read some data. I have here a training file. This is an Excel file. So I imported the Pandas library, and then I just specified the path, and then just read the path. So if I want to take a look at the data itself, I can run this, and then I can see this is what the data looks like. I have an order here, a customer, a ship date, ship mode, and so on. And now I'm interested in the various, in this case, columns here. So for instance, for the selling price, what is the mean of the selling price, or are there any missing selling prices, and so on. That's what I want to find out. But instead of creating this manually, I will use Pandas profiling. So just in case you need to install it, you can run pip install pandas profiling. Then the package gets downloaded. And afterwards, you can simply import from pandas profiling the profile report. Then all you have to do is actually put your dataset, in this case the pandas data frame, inside the profile report class. So let's create that. Let's say our report equals to profile report. And then you just put in here the data set. So in this case, it's data. I can run this. And now I stored it in the report. And to visualize it, inside here, my Jupyter Notebook, I can simply call report. And if I do this, you see that now the data gets analyzed here. And it's summarizing now all the columns. And it's going through the columns and just figuring out, okay, how many unique values are there, for instance, for different kinds of ship modes. How often do they appear? For numeric columns, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation, even things like skewness and kurtosis, all these things get calculated. And also the report itself takes a look at the correlation between columns and so on, and all this also gets visualized. So a real benefit and helpful way to visualize data. As you can see here, we are done. And here's our report. And we have an overview section. It's fully interactive as well. So you can see we had various sections here. I, for instance, can jump to correlations, and then I see here my correlation plot for the different kinds of variables I have here. Of course, this only works for numerical variables in our dataset. But still, I can easily check and see whether there are strong correlations, and then I can deal with that, depending on what kind of modeling I want to do afterwards. But I can also see different kinds of correlation, which I can check here. You see that this changes here. I can take a look at the variable section here to find out about the columns itself, so how many distinct values, how many zeros or missing values are there, and so on. So a lot to explore with just actually 2 lines of code, right? So importing, or actually more creating the report, and then just showing the report inside the Jupyter Notebook. And this is fully interactive, as we've seen, and a big help because it saves some time and gives us already some insights into our data. So that's it for this video. Hopefully that was helpful. If so, please give this video a like. Also, please consider subscribing to the channel. The more people subscribe, the more videos I will create. All right. So thanks a lot for that. Take care and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.